Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that answers your specific stock queries on the program. In case you're here for the first time, the WhatsApp number is on your screen. Send us your questions here along with your name, location and your contact details. In case you're joining us live on our YouTube platform, well, you can go to Daily Calls Live. Use the comment section there to send me your questions over there and I'll be happy to address that with our top market experts. Well, we are back above the 24,520 mark, almost 100 points higher. This is the fifth consecutive session of gains on the markets and we are at the day's high point. You can clearly see that despite this kind of a move on the Nifty, the sectoral action is pretty much mixed. Only IT sector, which is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the gains today, and financial services, banking names and Nifty Bank as a whole, rest all of the pockets have in fact slipped. So there is a wide diversion between how the markets are doing at this point in time, but you see the Nifty constantly moving higher. So real estate sector is down today. You have the metals that are down, you have the broader markets that are down, pharma index, infrastructure, all of them are trending weak, but it's just the heavyweight coming in from IT and banks that's supporting this texture of the markets right now. So we'll try to understand that as well. Let's welcome our guest on board. Vishnukant Upadhyay, the AVP Research and Advisory for Master Capital Services, is with us. Vishnukant, good afternoon. Good to have you. First up, give us your sense on how are you looking at the Nifty beyond 24,500. It's been some time since we've seen this level come in onto the D Street. The question is, will it sustain above this kind of a move that we are seeing on the Nifty right now? And only two clear pockets that are supporting the rally, IT and banks, barring which all the other sectors are down. How do you see this contrast in the markets?
Hi, Sakshi. Very good afternoon. Definitely. Basically the headline indices are doing quite good. Nifty, Sensex, Bank Nifty, and you rightly mentioned that the market is now above 24,500, and it is also the proximity of 200 exponential moving average. So in today's trading session, although yesterday we have seen prices briefly penetrated the 200 exponential moving average, but now in today's trading session prices are decisively trading above this moving average line and now looking to pave the way for towards 24,600, the medium term top formed in April 2026, a couple of months back, I can say. Yes, you are absolutely right. There are two indices that are currently supporting this gain. That's Nifty, IT, and Bank Nifty. But yes, other indices, but overall texture in other indices like it's consumer durables, a pharma, healthcare. But yes, for last couple of days, the indices are showing some sign of profit booking from the higher levels. Market breathe is not positive. In fact, that's some red flags we can witness in market currently. Small cap, mid caps, all indices are trading in red. But the good part is that we have continuously seeing a very good business updates. While if you look at the Brent or WTI, they all are trading very close to 70 mark. So I mean, if you look at the macro trend, so they all are extrapolating towards the further bullishness in the headline indices. So I believe this winning streak in Nifty and Bank Nifty is likely to remain intact.
Okay. Particularly on the IT pack, 3% higher now. It's at the day's high point. This is coming right ahead of the earnings season. Does it mean that we are moving into the earnings season with high expectation? And how would you advise investors to really look at it? Just 2 days from now, we'll see TCS report its numbers and the rest of the IT companies as well. Last quarter, the memory is pretty fresh that when the earnings season started, there was a sharp sell-off in the IT sector because of the weak guidance that most of these large cap companies had given, and of course a lot of miss on their overall on their own guidance as well. So how are you looking at, again, we are looking at the another IT sector quarterly earnings, and the stocks are actually going in pretty buoyant.
Well, Sachi, so the things depends on the guidance. In fact, you rightly mentioned, in last quarter, we haven't seen any positive guidance from all these IT companies. So in fact, the things definitely will depend on the guidance. Yes, there would be some, upbeat numbers from the large cap IT. But as I mentioned, the things depends on how the companies, acquire, works on the merger acquisitions and moves towards the AI adoption. So from technical standpoints, if you look at the IT index, the index, regained it's a 21-day exponential moving average in today's trading session. But yes, conviction is still missing in a large cap IT. If you someone wants to really play the IT space, so I would personally prefer to play the IT space from the mid cap IT. So like Coforge, OFSS, and Persistent. These stocks are looking pretty good, but there could be some value buying in in fee kind of stocks, but still conviction is missing. So for a retail participation, I would prefer to stay away from the large cap IT until unless we see the numbers for Q1 FY27.
Okay, let's now start digging into the questions that we are getting. A lot of our viewers are waiting by Vishnukant to get the answers to their queries that they are sending in your way, and of course to understand what is the right form of understanding on the key stocks that they should have at this point in time as well. Any key suggestions from your side at the beginning as well? Do you think there are some stock ideas that you'd like to share right at the beginning of the show, because the markets are at a peak and a lot of investors are looking at some stock ideas too?
Well, definitely, there have been too many stocks, some from the intraday perspective and some from the, positional perspective. So for an intraday perspective, I would like to bet on the Jubilant Foodwork. The stock is up around, 3% in today's trading session. We have seen a very good business updates. Apart from that, if you look at the chart, stock is rebounding from after forming a triple bottom on a weekly time frame. And in today's trading session, it has regained 21-day exponential moving average. So for intraday as well as for a short-term purpose, one can look for Jubilant Food. I believe the stock has a potential to extend this move towards 480 and then 498 sort of levels. So one can go long in Jubilant Food. And second stock is a Krishna Institute of Medical Science, I mean KIMS. In last couple of days, we have seen a very remarkable corrective fall in this stock, that is around 6%. So after giving a clear cut breakout from the stiff horizontal resistance that was aligning somewhere around 790, stock is currently trading 808, which means it is gradually coming down close to that breakout point, which also aligns in the proximity of 21-day exponential moving average. So I mean, the all development is, indicating towards the U-turn from the proximity of 800. So stock is currently well positioned to build a fresh long position. So Krishna Institute and Jubilant Food, these are two picks from my side.
Okay, let's also take the next, now some questions that are coming in from our viewers. I hope all of these have been noted down by our viewers. We have a lot of our viewers lining up with their queries. We have Rishikesh, Sai Sharma, we have KD Pradhan, Vinita Gupta, Poonam, all of them joining in afresh. Welcome to everybody with your questions. सबसे पहले हम लेंगे ऋषिकेश का क्वेश्चन. लिखते हैं कि मैंने अपोलो माइक्रो सिस्टम्स लिया है 450 पर 2 दिन पहले और ऑलरेडी ये शेयर 12% नीचे जा चुका है, तो अगले 6 महीने के लिए मैं क्या इसे होल्ड करूं या नहीं, और टारगेट और स्टॉप लॉस क्या हो सकता है? अपोलो माइक्रो में हमने इससे पहले काफ़ी अच्छा रनअप देखा है और अब थोड़ा सा कूल ऑफ हो रहा है इस स्टॉक में. क्या अगले 6 महीने के लिए आप एडवाइस करेंगे स्टॉक में बने रहना?
डेफिनेटली. देखिए, स्टॉक एक बहुत ही ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक है और एक अच्छा खासा आपको ऑलरेडी स्टॉक ये दिखा चुका है. बट यस, इन्होंने एक टॉप पे स्टॉक को बाय किया है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आई थिंक स्ट्रेटजी वाज नॉट प्रूडेंट टू बाय द स्टॉक ऑन टॉप. बट एनीवे, स्टॉक अभी भी अपने जो एक इमीडिएट हॉरिजॉन्टल सपोर्ट है 380, 380, 378 के ऊपर ही फिलहाल ट्रेड कर रहा है. सो देयर इज अ लाइक्लीहुड टू टेक अ यू टर्न फ्रॉम द प्रेजेंट जंक्शन. सो आई वुड से 378 का एक क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे स्टॉप लॉस लगाइए. यदि इसके नीचे स्टॉक निकलता है तो यू प्लीज गेट एग्जिट फ्रॉम द पोजीशन.
ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट सवाल की तरफ, और ये सवाल हमारे पास आया है विनीता गुप्ता का. ये एलाइड ब्लेंडर्स पर आपसे पूछना चाह रही हैं. 580 के लेवल पर ऑलरेडी इनके पास है पोर्टफोलियो में. अब यहाँ से क्या करना चाहिए? क्या प्रॉफिट बुक कर लें, अभी भी बने रहें एलाइड ब्लेंडर्स पर? क्या सजेशन होगा आपका?
देखिए, स्टॉक जो है ये एक अच्छे अप ट्रेंड में है स्टॉक अपने, और यदि ये अच्छे खासे गेन पे बैठे हुए हैं तो बेसिकली मैं चाहूंगा एटलीस्ट 30% प्रॉफिट बुकिंग की जाए यहाँ से. बट मुझे लगता है कि ये गेन्स कंटिन्यू रहेंगे ऑन द हायर साइड. आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग 800 850 सॉर्ट ऑफ लेवल्स कांट बी रूल्ड आउट इन मीडियम टर्म. सो आई वुड से एक ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस मेंटेन करिए 620 का, अपनी पोजीशन पे बने रहिए. 30 to 25% तक एक बार अपनी ये पोजीशन को इस पर अपना कर सकते हैं।
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is from Sanvi. ये लिखते हैं, hi Sakshi, hi to you as well Sanvi. Hope you're good. The question she has for you Vishnukant is on delivery shares. She already has this stock in her portfolio at 510. About 1300 shares is what she has, but she wants to know only a 1 month kind of a time frame outlook on this stock, and if you could share any target on stop loss on delivery shares. Currently it's at 517. She bought this stock at 510.
Whereas actually, so recently we have seen a very clear-cut breakout from the ascending triangle pattern, and now the stock is up almost 6 to 7% from that breakout point. So the stock is in clear-cut bullish trend, and I believe with the validation of 490, 480 sort of levels, stock has a potential to extend this winning streak towards a 580, 590 sort of level. So even I would suggest keep accumulating the stock on every decline. While you're talking about stop loss, one should maintain a stop loss below 480. Having said that, on the higher side, 580, 590 can be witnessed.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is from one of our viewers, and this one is from, okay, Gagan Khemani, who says, good afternoon. I want to know from sir about green ply. I have this stock at 310. Please advise for short term. What would you advise? Green ply.
Green ply industry, where stock is continuously forming higher highs, higher lows kind of pattern, and the good part is that the stock is trading above the cluster of all key moving averages with a full conviction. Volumes are also coming very good from the lower levels. So I believe this bullish structure is likely to remain intact. While on the higher side, I'm expecting prices to approach towards 350, 340 sort of levels. So yes, one can stay, one can build a fresh long position as well with keeping a stop loss below 297.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is again from one of our viewers. This is Kamal, who says, hi Sakshi, thanks for your valuable show. Thank you so much, Kamal, for writing in warm words for daily calls. I hope this show is helping you out in your investment journey. Let's understand your question today. You are asking on Bosch, which you have bought at 34,000 levels, and also Page Industries at 36,400. You've got both stocks which have very high ticket price. You want to know a short-term target on both of these. Usually such stocks people use for long-term portfolios, but let's try and understand, maybe because you're already in profits and you want to gauge what's the outlook here. So Page Industries, he got into the stock at 36,000 odd levels. The stock is hovering around 42,000 odd levels right now. When we talk about Bosch, again, a stock which is only listed in India right now and, in the world, and that's why we get this entire premium here that is traded. So 34,000 was his purchase price, 41,800. So both these stocks he's holding on profits. But in the short term, do you expect any further upside, or should he be looking at, in fact, booking out?
Let's take a Bosch first. Well, so entire auto ancillary space is doing immensely well, and I believe this positivity in this stock is likely to remain unimpaired. I believe on the higher side, 45,000 sort of levels, 46,000 sort of levels will be can be seen on card. So I would suggest to hold the position, but just maintain the stop loss below 40,300 in a Bosch, right? And looking at a Page Industry, after witnessing such a vertical gain in the stock, we have seen some sort of corrective fall for last few days. So I believe this corrective fall can be seen as an opportunity to create a fresh long positions. But as she already hold this stock in the portfolio, so I would suggest to maintain a stop loss below 40,800 and hold the position.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is from Kaushik Rana. He's from Vadodara in Gujarat, and he wants to invest in MCX, and he wants to know from you, Vishnukant, is it a good purchase at the current market price? He has a long-term view. What would you advise on MCX, multi-commodity exchange?
Sakshi, there is some pain in the capital market, segment for last few trading sessions, I would say. But the stock is falling on some news flow. technically, the stock is now looking little bearish, and I believe this falling journey is, should be continuing somewhere around 2460. I mean 2460. That's the proximity of a 200-day exponential moving average. So I would prefer to, exit the counter if you find any rise close to 2700. While on the lower side, 2440 will act as a very crucial support. If prices falls below this level, then definitely you should get exit from the position.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is from Manoj Bhai Kapatia. He says मेरे पास वाटेक वबाक के शेयर है 50 शेयर्स है, इसका भाव है 2198. अभी फ़िलहाल मुझे लॉस हो रहा है, तो मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? क्या मैं सेल कर दूं लॉसेस पे या अभी भी बने रहूं? वाटेक वबाक, इसका स्ट्रक्चर कैसा लगता है आपको?
Sakshi, structure is a quite positive. In fact, the stock is forming higher highs, higher lows kind of pattern.
ठीक
And
है,
मुझे लगता है कि स्टॉक अभी एक ट्रेडिंग रेंज में है 2220 ऑन द हायर साइड, 1990 ऑन द लोअर साइड. इनको अपनी पोजीशन पे बने रहना चाहिए. स्टॉप लॉस 1980 का मेंशन करें, और हायर साइड में आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग 2300 2400 तक के लेवल इनको शॉर्ट टर्म में देखने को मिल सकते हैं.
ठीक है. Let's take the next question. This one is from one of our viewers again. ये है राज, और लिखते हैं कि कैन आई स्टे इन्वेस्टेड इन BSE और शुड आई एग्जिट राइट नाउ एंड गेट बैक इनटू इट लेटर? फिलहाल राज, आपने ये मेंशन नहीं किया है कि किस लेवल से आपके पास है BSE का शेयर, अभी आप प्रॉफिट में हैं या नहीं, ये हमें नहीं पता चल पा रहा है. लेकिन उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप अच्छे प्रॉफिट्स में हैं और BSE में अब आप निकलना चाह रहे हैं और एक बार फिर से टैक्टिकल प्ले करके जब नेक्स्ट मौका मिले तब आप वापस आना चाहते हैं. आज ये शेयर 4% नीचे है. बहुत सारे दर्शक ये भी आपसे और आपके क्लाइंट्स भी अक्सर पूछ रहे होंगे कि जब तक NSE का IPO आए तो क्या करना चाहिए? क्या लगातार BSE पर बने रहें या फिर ऑलरेडी BSE में बेस्ट रन अप देखने को मिल चुका है, और क्या इसके लिए वेट करें कि जब NSE का IPO आए तब दोनों एक्सचेंजेस में लगाया जाए? तो ये बहुत एक सवाल कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट कर रहा है इन्वेस्टर्स के माइंड में. आप कैसे स्ट्रक्चर देख रहे हैं BSE का और क्या राय दे रहे हैं?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि NSE के IPO आने के बाद BSE के ऊपर क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. यस, देयर विल बी है डिपोली इन द मार्केट. अभी फिलहाल मोनोपोली है मार्केट में. सो BSE का स्टॉक जो है वो उस फैक्टर को डेफिनेटली मोनेटाइज कर रहा है अपने स्टॉक में. बट मैं टेक्निकली प्ले करूं इस चीज को, बिकॉज वी हैव सीन सच प्रॉफिट बुकिंग इन, जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि कैपिटल मार्केट सेक्टर में थोड़ा सा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग हमको देखने को मिल रही है. MCX भी डाउन है, BSE भी डाउन है, और ये जो है BSE जो डाउन है वो इसलिए नहीं है कि NSE का IPO आ रहा है. देयर इज सम नेगेटिव न्यूज फ्लो इन द काउंटर, राइट? तो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो टेक्निकल फ्रंट पे यदि हम बात करें तो पेन थोड़ा सा रहेगा. इन्होंने ये मेंशन नहीं किया है कि इनको शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए जानना है या लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए. यदि लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए जानना है तो अपने पोर्टफोलियो का यदि ये हिस्सा है स्टॉक, तो प्लीज वी विद दैट स्टॉक ऊपर अपने स्टॉक के साथ बने रहें. 3200 का लेवल जब तक इंटैक्ट है. बट यदि आप शॉर्ट टर्म के प्लेयर हैं तो डेफिनेटली आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप फिलहाल स्टॉक से एग्जिट करिए. डाउन साइड में 3400 एंड देन 3200, ये लेवल्स मुझे आने वाले दिनों में से स्टॉक में आपको देखने को मिल सकते हैं.
ठीक है, उम्मीद करते हैं ये भी आपको एक ओवरऑल राय मिल गई है कि कैसे आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट अंकुर मोदी का सवाल लेते हैं और ये लिखते हैं, हाय साक्षी, होप यू आर डूइंग ग्रेट, आई एम वेरी वेल, थैंक यू सो मच अंकुर फॉर आस्किंग एंड आई होप द सेम फॉर यू. पूछा है इन्होंने दो स्टॉक्स के ऊपर. पहला है सेजिलिटी, दूसरा है एक्साइड बैटरीज. दोनों पर ये लिखते हैं कि ये काफ़ी शेयर्स अपने ऑल टाइम हाई से गिर चुके हैं. तो ऐसे में अभी इन कंपनीज़ का क्या फंडामेंटल और टेक्निकल स्ट्रक्चर सही है? क्या इन्हें अभी फ्रेश पर्सपेक्टिव से देखना चाहिए या फिर अभी नहीं? एक्साइड 412 पर आज चल रहा है, आज 0.7% नीचे है. और सेजिलिटी को भी अगर हम पुल अप करते हैं और देखते हैं कि आज करंट प्राइस क्या है, ओवरऑल खास तौर पर ये अपने ऑल टाइम पीक से तो डेफिनेटली नीचे आ चुके हैं. सेजिलिटी का करंट भाव 39 के लेवल्स पर, आज 1.5% नीचे है. क्या किया जाए यहाँ पर?
वेल, डेफिनेटली देखिए, सेजिलिटी की हम बात करते हैं तो स्टॉक थोड़ा सा ऑसिलेट कर रहा है अपनी 21 डे एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज के पास. बट यस, ही rightly mentioned the stock has has witnessed a very good corrective fall from the 52-week high. So I believe इन लेवल्स पे से एग्जिट करना तो मुझे लगता है विल नॉट बी अ वेरी प्रूडेंट स्ट्रेटजी टू गेट एग्जिट फ्रॉम द स्टॉक ऑन द करंट मार्केट रेट. सो आई बिलीव यहाँ से एक बार इनको पोजीशन बनानी चाहिए क्योंकि रिस्क रिवार्ड आपके फेवर में है। विद कीपिंग स्टॉप लॉस बिलो 36 आई वुड से गो लॉन्ग इन सेजिलिटी, while on the higher side 45 46 sort of levels can't be ruled out. So सेजिलिटी एक रिस्क रिवार्ड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से एक अच्छा बाय हो सकता है। वही
ओके
यदि हम एक्सेट
जी।
वही यदि हम एक्सैट की बात करें तो एक्सैट में भी मेरे को थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिविटी नजर आती है। दोनों ही बैटरी के जो काउंटर है अमरा राजा एक्सैट, दे स्टार्टेड टू शो सम रेजिलियंस फ्रॉम द लोअर लेवल्स। एक अच्छी वैल्यू बाइंग और बार्गेन बाइंग इन स्टॉक्स में हमको देखने को मिल सकती है। तो एक्सैट में मुझे लगता है कि ऊपर में 460 470 तक के रेट्स आने वाले दिनों में आपको देखने को मिल सकते हैं। 388 के स्टॉप लॉस पे एक्सैट बाइंग करने की रिकमेंडेशन है।
ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन लेते हैं। ये सवाल हमारे पास सत्या का है। ये लिखते हैं, हाय प्लीज़ हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड ऑन टू स्टॉक्स, Indus Towers and Shipping Corporation. Can these two stocks be looked at a fresh buy for medium term perspective? Both have corrected in spite the uptrend recently. And what is the medium to short term outlook on both these stocks? Indus Towers are 1.5% नीचे 380 पर चल रहा है। शिपिंग कॉरपोरेशन भी मीडियम टू लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए पूछना चाहते हैं कि हाल फिलहाल में जो गिरावट आई है उसके बाद आप क्या फ्रेश टेक देना चाहेंगे इन दोनों शेयर्स में। दोनों कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स से हैं और ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर में क्या सिमिलैरिटीज या डिफरेंसेस हैं ये भी आप शेयर कर सकते हैं।
वेल देखिए इंडस टावर में तो मैं आपको रिकमेंड नहीं करूंगा बाय करने की, बिकॉज वी हैव सीन अ डेथ क्रॉसओवर इन इंडस टावर। सो आई बिलीव दिस नेगेटिविटी इज लाइकली टू रिमेन इंटैक्ट ऑन द लोअर साइड। मुझे लगता है 350 से लेकर 340 तक के भी भाव आपको इस स्टॉक में देखने को मिल सकते हैं। तो अच्छा किया आपने कोई भी पोजीशन बनाने से पहले एक रिकमेंडेशन ले ली। तो इंडस टावर को फिलहाल आप इग्नोर करके चल सकते हैं। उनके एवरेज में आप जो स्टॉक्स हमने इनिशियली आपको रिकमेंड किए थे उन पे आप फोकस कर सकते हैं। वही शिपिंग कॉर्पोरेशन की हम बात करें तो एक अच्छे ब्रेकआउट के बाद स्टॉक में एक अच्छा वर्टिकल रनअप हमको देखने को मिला था, बट लास्ट फॉर लास्ट 1 मंथ आई वुड से द स्टॉक हैज विटनेस सम सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रॉफिट बुकिंग फ्रॉम द हायर लेवल्स एंड टेक्निकली। बट यदि हम बात करें तो ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर अभी भी पॉजिटिव है। 270 278 की ये जो प्राइस जोन है जब तक इंटैक्ट है लोअर साइड में, आई वुड से कीप एक्यूमुलेटिंग द स्टॉक। स्टॉप लॉस लगाइए 277 का, आप बाइंग कर सकते हैं। दिस कैन बी सीन एज अ बार्गेन बाइंग एंड फेवरेबल रिस्क रिवार्ड। तो मुझे लगता है कि 289 करंट मार्केट रेट पे आप बाइंग कर सकते हैं। 277 का स्टॉप लॉस लगाइए और हायर साइड में 330 तक के टारगेट्स आपको देखने को मिल सकते हैं।
Okay, let's take the next query. This one is from one of our viewers on our WhatsApp. GD Rao हैं आंध्र प्रदेश से, लिखते हैं on Walchan Nagar Industries for short term, would you suggest any buying price with a short term target and stop loss on Walchan Nagar Industries? How do you view the structure of this stock? Today it's trading at 234 odd levels, again down by nearly 1%.
Yes, so I mean, if he is looking for a short-term buying, so definitely I would say yes, he can go long with keeping his stop loss below 217। 217 रुपए का एक स्टॉप लॉस लगाइए और यहाँ से एक अप बाइंग कर सकते हैं। ऑन द हायर साइड आई बिलीव स्टॉक should regain towards 267 268 kind of levels।
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question. एक और सवाल हमारे पास YouTube के जरिए आया है जेंसा टेक पर। एक आपसे व्यू लेना चाहते हैं। 270 के भाव पर खरीदा हुआ है जेंसा टेक, यहाँ से कहाँ जाता हुआ नजर आ रहा है ये शेयर आपको?
Well, so we have seen a very good rebound in this counter recently, and but I believe good amount of buying interest we have also seen in this counter. So I believe on the higher side, stock is now looking to pave the way for 560 580 sort of levels. So definitely one can go long and do not forget to maintain the stop loss below 440।
ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है संतोष का। ये लिखते हैं, हाय आई एम होल्डिंग तेजस नेटवर्क्स, आई हैव shares of 5,000 quantity at 600 levels each. I can hold for the next 1 year. Please let me know what could be the target and stop loss on Tejas Networks. Telecom infra space का linked stock है ये। इंडस टावर्स में तो आपने अभी सजेशन किया है कि अभी नहीं खरीदना चाहिए। अक्सर हमने देखा है तेजस नेटवर्क्स और इंडस टावर्स साथ में मूव करते हैं जब भी सेक्टोरल पॉजिटिव न्यूज़ आती है। तेजस नेटवर्क्स आज 4% नीचे, आज एट 546। यहाँ पर क्या व्यू है आपका?
Well, so but one big difference between those these stocks technically, if I talk about, then that Indus network has fallen below the all key supports, while Tejas Indus Tower, sorry, while the Tejas network is still trading above the 200-day exponential moving average, but yes, texture has been distorted. So I believe यदि इनके पोर्टफोलियो में ये स्टॉक है ऑलरेडी, तो एक स्टॉप लॉस छोटा सा लगाइए 520 का। जब तक ये लेवल ब्रीच नहीं होता है स्टॉक को मेंटेन करिए पोजीशन को। इफ प्राइसेस फॉल्स फ्लो 520, then definitely you need to get exit from the Tejas network.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has also helped you. Let's take the next one then. This one is again from one of our viewers on our YouTube. We have Rohit Jain asking on IRB Infra 28 के भाव पर IRB Infra इन्होंने खरीदा है। अब आपसे जानना चाहते हैं ये शेयर कैसा करेगा, कहाँ तक जाएगा और ओवरऑल क्या व्यू है आपका। 20 पर आ चुका है, इनकी खरीद से भी नीचे। एक ऐसा समय था जब IRB Infra पे सभी रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स काफ़ी बुलिश थे, लेकिन इस स्टॉक ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रक्शन ऑलरेडी देखा है इन्वेस्टर्स की वेल्थ पे। कैसे देखते हैं आप इस शेयर को अभी?
Well, actually, so the stock is, just oscillating in a very tight horizontal band. On the higher side, 23, and on the lower side, 19, or we can say 20s kind of level. So again and again, prices witness some, buying interest from the lower level and selling interest from the higher levels. So मैं इनको रिकमेंड करूंगा कि स्टॉक यदि इनको 20 के आसपास दिखता है, 20 या 19.50 के आसपास दिखता है, तो एक बार के लिए ये अपनी पोजीशंस में जो है वो एवरेजिंग करके चल सकते हैं। व्हाइल ऑन द हायर साइड यदि 22-22.50 के आसपास लेवल मिलते हैं, तो एक बार एग्जिट करके चलिए, क्योंकि पॉजिटिविटी स्टॉक में जब भी आएगी जब डेली क्लोजिंग पे स्टॉक 23 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग देगा।
Okay, let's take the next query. This one is from again one of our viewers on our YouTube itself, Namish. He says, "Hi Sakshi, this is a very useful show for us. Thank you so much, dear Namish, for writing in warm words. Your question is on Muthoot Microfinance. You have this stock in your portfolio at 224, and you want to know whether you should continue to hold on at the level that you hold these shares, or should you also look at averaging further at the current market price as well. Let's try and understand what is feasible for you and what is advisable. 212 is the current market price. You bought it at 224, slightly lower from your purchase price. Your sense here, Vishwanath?
Definitely, the stock is looking quite, bullish. The stock is, decisively forming a higher highs, higher lows pattern. And the good thing is that the stock is trading above the cluster of all key moving averages. So I believe he should, hold the position. And I would also recommend to do averaging on fall close to 205. And in that case, maintain a stop loss below 198. While I'm expecting on the higher side, 240, 250 sort of levels can't be ruled out in a very short term.
Okay, let's take the next query. This one is from one of our viewers. This is okay, Seema from New Delhi. She wants to know about GMR Airport. She has this stock at 110 in her portfolio. She wants to know again a short to a medium term time frame on GMR Airport. What would you advise here?
Definitely, she should hold the position, and I'm expecting it's a one of the bullish counter which always remains on my radar, and still the counter is on my watch list. So I believe on the higher side, 130, 135 sort of levels can't be ruled out. So please stay long in this counter, and keep trailing the stop loss below 109.
Okay, I hope that this has also helped you out as well. We'll take just the last question with you before we thank you, Vishnukan, for the day. We have Ahana asking on Symphony shares. She says that I have this stock in my portfolio priced at 888. I have a 6 months view. Should I average it out?
Symphony Limited, right?
Symphony, currently at 696. She bought it at 888 levels. So it's come down from her purchase levels for sure.
Basically, the stock is in perfectly bearish trend, in fact, and stock is giving no sign of any kind of reversal.
Okay.
So I would say only if you find any corrective rise close to 763, please try to get exit from the counter. Meanwhile, you just maintain a stop loss below 650.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has also truly helped you out. We'll thank you then, Vishnukant, for being with us on the show, for answering all the queries of our viewers, and for addressing your own top choice of stock queries as well, so that it helps a lot of our viewers to take the right direction in the markets. Good to have you with us as always. We'll have you
Thank
back
you.
very soon on another edition too. Markets viewers are at 24,488, 58 points higher, and we are looking at some cool off at the high point of the day, but let's see how things really shape up from here. We're also awaiting the presence of our next guest, Jay Thakkar, to be with us on the show to help you understand what should be your own fresh strategy on the markets as well. Let's also look at how the market momentum is looking like at this point in time. Like I pointed out onto the Nifty, the IT stocks continue to move up, and that's where the clear momentum is being seen. Although the IT stocks have also cooled off a tad bit from the day's high, and that's why you're also seeing the Nifty also cool off a tad bit. On the Nifty Bank, it's just holding 1/10% higher. There's been a lot of choppiness on the banking story, but IT, the sole winner, with strong momentum, bucking the trend, it has been pulling up the market so far. But will it sustain is the key question again. Let's look at some of the key stocks in the broader markets to see where is the momentum coming in from the broad markets, even though the mid and the small caps are lower in the session today. You have some names that are holding up. Tourism basket is higher. You can see in ITDC shares up. Taj GVK Hotels is also higher. So some hotels, hospitality names are doing well at this point. You're also looking at Ganesh Housing, for instance, NIIT Learning. Rights is higher. Info Edge after the Q1 updates, that stock is definitely up by almost 9.5%. That's something that you should definitely be watching out for. There is also a move on Tribhuvan Das Bhimji Zaveri, 6% higher. The entire jewelry space is in focus. Remember, Titan and Kalyan both have come out with their business updates, and now you have some of the other key stocks that are holding up. You're also looking at Waterways Leisure Tourism, the recently listed stock, the IPO that came in and listed at a discount, but thereafter we've seen next couple of sessions see some kind of a buying emerge for the stock. That one is moving up in the session. You're also looking at some of the names that are holding up, including we have names like R Systems International, that's higher in the session today. So those are some of the stocks. IOL Chemicals is higher. Those are some names that are actually doing well. But on the downside trend, 11.5% now down. The pain continues for Trent, the stock has been underperforming, of course, for some time now. And now you're looking at further impact coming in on the back of the Q1 numbers and the business updates that we have. All right, we have Jay Thakkar with us. Let's go across to him. Jay, hi, good afternoon. How are you looking at the markets? We hit or we crossed that 24,500 mark intraday. We're seeing some cool off happen there. So is it again the resistance that's playing around this level? We've seen this level after a long haul. The bulls managed to hit it, but will they sustain above it is the key question. And again, we are seeing some cool off happen. And today, it's largely just the IT and the banking pack that supported this move. So in case there is some more pressure coming in here, it'll be difficult to hold on. How would you look at the markets?
Hi, good afternoon to you, Sakshi, and thanks for having me on your show. Once again, it's good to address the queries as well as the conversation which we have, and I think that as you rightly pointed out, I mean 24,500 on the closing basis definitely is a profit booking range. See, point number one, why did we see a profit booking from the higher levels today? Because today is the weekly expiry of Nifty. We saw the put call ratio in fact going to 1.45, 1.50 generally, which is an overbought region or over territory, and generally you find profit booking happening from those levels. Once PCR reaches those levels, then that is what we had seen on a Friday as well. And Friday we saw that profit booking coming from the higher levels, and Monday again we saw a good recovery, and today again what we are seeing is that point one. Second is 24,500. I mean, the put side had almost 5.3 crore kind of OI on the put base, and below that, I mean, as soon as it came, the put writer started unwinding, and that is what the spiral effect we saw right now, because of which Nifty actually came down. Third, very correct point highlighted by you is that the Nifty IT today has led the kind of whatever 30, 40, 50 points gain which you have seen. The Bank Nifty since past couple of trading sessions, Sakshi, I would say that although we did see HDFC Bank seeing a good short covering happening, there yesterday, but then at the same time we saw that Kotak Mahindra Bank was equally down, right? So, and we are not seeing much of participation coming on the PSU banking part, which now has a good amount of weightage in the bank Nifty bank after the changes which has been suggested by SEBI that only one stock can be having higher weightage as much as 20% and not below that, not more than three stocks having more than 45% kind of a weightage. Because of which now, despite HDFC Bank going up so much, you did not see the Bank Nifty in fact providing a record above its previous swing high recently, which was made of around 58,700, right? And it's been like a week or so that we have seen the banking going sideways, right? So, if I have to look at that way, Sakshi, I would say that banking is the one which started this rally, or which was leading, right? It did not make a new low around 52,700 when Nifty did after breaking that and filling the gap of 23,950. Sorry, right? And now we are seeing that Bank Nifty has gone a bit sideways, right? And those beaten down names like Reliance or Nifty Oil and Gas Sector, Nifty IT, FMCG, they have seen some bounce back. So what has happened is a shift a bit in this short term from the trending sector to a short covering sector. That is what has happened, and because of which you have seen a breakout on the upside, but you haven't seen that continuing a follow up in today's trading session. So what do I take it from this is that the medium term trend remains positive because the monthly put base is at 24,000. So one thing is that till 24,000 levels are not broken, the medium term trend is up. In the short term, it needs a close about 24,500, 600 range, right? Else, you would again get into that consolidation. Hence, buy on dips in the short term is a better idea. Buy on dips or buy about 24,600. That is the strategy to play the index. Stock specific, sector specific moves will continue, in which I think, yes, ahead of the Q1 numbers, I think IT is witnessing some short covering.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has given you an overall understanding, viewers. Let's start taking some questions from our viewers now. We have this question from Kalpesh Kacharia for you first from Mumbai. He says, I have a short position, Jay sir, on July futures for BSE at 4,000. My target is at 2,800. Do you think it can be possible to see this target in July series?
Oh, well, I would say the target as of now looks to be 3,500. So still at least 100, points is what you can see. You can review it around 3,500. And if it breaks 3,500, I think the next target which we can see is 3,400.
Okay.
So 33, 3,200 if you're looking out for as of now seems difficult. But then 3,500 to 3,400 looks likely.
Okay. Next one, we have Satyansh Gupta from Prayagraj. He has a query on Tata Elxsi. He bought this stock at 4,350. He wants to know, should he average right now if he has 5 to 6 months time frame? What would your advice be on this stock, Tata Elxsi?
As I said, Sakshi, that in the short term, it seems that the IT may see some short covering. It's an early indication, and there are a
Yeah.
couple of reasons behind that as well. I would just like to elaborate a bit. Is that we've seen since past a couple of weeks, the FII selling pressure in the equity cash segment has gone down, and we are seeing now. Um, the Korean markets are down, the Japanese markets are down. If at all, there is an anti-AI trade happening around the world of profit booking there and short covering here ahead of the results. And if FIIs have reduced their selling pressure, so wherever they're selling, they were selling in the oil and gas sector a bit, they were selling in the IT, they were selling a bit in the private sector banks, which saw short covering, HDFC Bank and all. So where they have huge holdings, they would be selling that more, and hence you did not see much of the selling pressure this time around in Nifty small cap and mid cap, right? So now if they take a pause and if they turn buyers like they have done in last 2 day trading sessions, if that happens, so that might be a buying interest here only a bit, which could trigger a good short covering rally. So selling here is not a good idea. You can think of waiting or maybe averaging once it falls even more. But don't sell it at these levels when most of the indicators are also diverging and the shorts are at their peak.
Okay. Next, we have a question coming in from one of our viewers. This is Santosh. His question, okay, we've taken Tejas Networks. We'll take another question first. This one is again from Bhaskar from Hyderabad, who wants to invest about 25,000 rupees to Vedanta Power right now, and he wants to know, would the current valuation seem attractive? Is it the right buying range for this stock, and what should he be doing for the next 3 to 6 months on Vedanta Power? Of course, you would not have any charts here to study, Jay, because these are just freshly demerged entities of the Vedanta group. The initial uptick has been strong for the entire group so far, but he's asking for the next 3 to 6 months what he should be doing.
You have, in fact, very well answered as well, Sakshi, I would say. The same thing, we have a less of data for me to, in fact, say or comment anything based on the charts or the quantitative data. In fact, it's not even a part of derivatives, so would not be able to comment on from the perspective of FNO as well. But all I can say is that the overall outlay in the energy space, as of now, seems to be of that of a profit booking or a consolidation of us after a significant rally. But positionally, I would say the outlook on the energy sector is positive. So if I have to take a cue from that, I would say that yes, holding it for another 6 months or 9 months for this financial year at least would make sense, because this sectoral outlook for the medium term or positional perspective is bullish.
Okay, let's take the next one then. This one is again from one of our viewers, Manoj Gupta. He lives in New Delhi. He says, I want to know about Apollo tires. My buying price is at 402. My investment horizon is 12 months, and I want to know, should I continue to hold on to my position or should I exit, and what would be the key support and target here? So his purchase price is 402 on Apollo tires. Any suggestion here for the next 1 year?
I think he can continue holding it. I mean, he's well into the profits of more than 10% right now, Sakshi. And I think that, in fact, he was very much lucky to have entered at the lower end of the range. And the range for Apollo tires has been around, say, 520, 30 on the upside to 300 and for a 70, 80 on the downside. So, like, just have 5% above the lower end of the range is very got into the stock. So, I would say that he can continue holding this with the trailing stop loss of 419, 419. I mean, I would have said 405, but that's his buying position. I would not want him to exit cost to cost after having been 10% in the money. So 419, I would suggest as a good trailing stop loss for this stock. And the beneficiaries of the crude had been the tire space. I mean, and we do not see any bounce back coming in the crude oil prices as well. I mean, you have heard that recently Saudi Arabia has also additionally provided discount of around 11% or so on the crude oil prices to the Asian economies, and which would definitely put the oil prices under pressure. And with the geopolitical tension also easing off, we would not be having a much positive outlook on the crude as of now. All we can see is some bounce back. If at all there is of $5 $10 and then again falling down. So crude is likely to either trade within a range or maybe even head lower, probably to $60 or so, something like that. So with that, the upside potential for Pro Tires is there. I mean, the auto stocks have done good. The numbers have been good. Maybe look at the FADA numbers, monthly sales numbers, or even their stock performance or sectoral performance since the last Independence Day when the Honorable Prime Minister announced the cut in the GST, right, from 28% to 18%, most of the auto stocks of or auto names, but all the auto in the auto manufacturing industry, right? So since then, we have seen this overall sector getting on a good uptrend, and since then, the structural change has not happened. So continue holding it with the trailing stop loss of 409, targeting around 500, 530.
Okay. Next one, we have a question coming in from Murali Krishna from Andhra Pradesh. Jay. He wants to know from you on Clean Max Enviro. And he has 500 stocks of Clean Max Enviro solutions in his portfolio. His purchase price is 1487. And he wants to know again for a short term view, how would you assess this stock?
The short-term perspective, I would say the price indication is suggesting the weakness in the momentum. So the short-term momentum is weak, I would say. Although, again, the history of the price data is less for me to comment much, but I would say that on the upside, 1400 has always been or acted as a very critical resistance for this particular stock. So probably, uh, I would say it's weak. So not well being into it would not make much sense as of now. Wherein the themes are different as of now. If you look at the sectors, I mean, as we discussed, the IT from the point of view of short covering, oil and gas from the point of view of short covering, auto from the point of view of long build-up. pharma from the point of view of long builder. So pharma, auto, IT and oil and gas from short covering and long respectively. I mean, this is what as of now the theme is around right now. This you can switch probably.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next one then. This one is again from Kolkata. We have a question coming in from Arpan. He says, Jay sir, appreciate if you could kindly advise me on two stocks, BEML and BHEL. And how would you advise me on this stock? Should I invest in them? And are these good stocks to own in portfolio?
BHL, of course, I mean, the quantitative data, if you look at it, Sakshi, then definitely this stock has taken off its 2007 highs after a long time. It's been almost like 2 decades, almost 2 decades, although we have 2 years for that, but then 1.5 year at least until 2020. So this made high in 20, Jan 2008. So you have 1.5 years still to go, but then uh, I would say almost 2 decades after that, we have seen this price action with a good momentum and change in volumes as well. So that is something which is encouraging from looking this stock from the long-term perspective, but the horizon should be at least 3-4 years in order to have that kind. See, SBI did not do anything for 10 years, 1 decade. HUL from 2000 to 2010 did not do anything for 1 decade. Likewise, for SBI, it was from 2000 to 2010 to 2020, or 21. So that was 1 decade. And then when it actually delivered returns, it took 2-3 years. So after having this high getting taken off and someone expect 3 months would not be the chance. So yes, for if you have a horizon of 2-3 years, I mean BHE, you can look into it sectorally as well as from the individual stock perspective. It looks better on all the data perspective. And as far as BEML is concerned, I would say, my friend, that this stock earlier was a good performer. As of now, it has gone into that consolidating mode, but that has not changed the overall month long-term outlook. It might take more a quarter or so, or maybe 2 quarters for more some consolidation or some time-wise correction could happen much, not price-wise. So I would say if you are a momentum trader, if you really want a momentum to get into this stock, then it would be about 2200, wherein it will confirm that. And if you want to accumulate slowly and gradually, you can, because the range as of now is 1400 to 2200. So either accumulate in this range and thereafter hold it for next 2-3 years, or if you want that momentum, target it at 1400 or about 2200.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has also helped you. We'll take one last query and then we'll jump on to taking questions from Jay on his top choice of stocks. We have the question coming in from Tamil Nadu again. Jay has written in, Jay asking Jay now. His question is on Gujarat Gas, Gujarat Energy, now it's called. For a 1 year time frame, is it the right time to invest in Gujarat Gas right now, and would you advise a fresh purchase here?
See, Gujarat oil and gas sector itself actually has seen an overall downtrend, and I would say since globally now things have eased off, so I would say yes, Gujarat gas now from your on should see some bounce back from the current levels. It should perform. But from the investment point of view, on a long-term point of view, I'm not so much sure. So it could be a short to medium-term trade, but not from the long-term point of view. So this is not a sector wherein I am ultra bullish on all these stocks, on the only sector. Stock specifically, there could be, since Reliance is also a part of it, so there could be some move in Reliance, there could be some move in OMCs, additionally, because we have seen the crude oil prices coming down, we have seen the 4 hikes in petrol prices out here in India, and we have seen now finally the crude oil prices coming down from $120 to $70 below that, which will help them definitely to uh, you know, provide a good bottom line numbers or PAT numbers eventually in 1 or 2 quarters, because the outlook for crude oil price is also less. So these all things will help for 1 or 2 quarters. But can it be a sustained up move? I am not much clear on that as of now. So from 1 or 2 quarters perspective, yes. From 1 or 2 years perspective, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Towards the end now, Jay, your top choice. Where are you looking at for opportunities in this current market? What is offering a lot of value?
Well, value from terms of risk reward, I would say first would be on IT. Purely, and it would be a very aggressive bet. So only those traders would be wanting to take that aggressive bet can, because the downside risk could also be high. You never know that, because the overall downward momentum has been so sharp that whenever IT falls, it falls down by 4-5%. right? But at the same time, I would say that if at all the L&T, my LN, Larsen to Grow Infotech, that is LTM, I think that this stock can see a good upside from here on, targeting around say 4,050, 4,100 in the near term with a stop loss of say 3,750. One can go along with this. If someone is wanting to basically protect the downside, then one can buy 3,700 or 3,600, probably put option as well. So they'll be limiting the downside that way. So that could be done. So ATM long from the perspective of short covering, right? And second stock which I would give or recommend from the perspective of long builder is Dr. Reddy's positionally. Dr. Reddy's as of now, Sakshi, I would say is trading around the levels of 1360. It may spend some time between 1400, 1300 is fine. But eventually, I think that after a long consolidation, the kind of long build-up which we have seen, the sectoral uptrend which we have seen in Nifty healthcare put together, the hospitals and pharma names, and the momentum individually on Dr. Reddy also on the monthly to daily charts have been positive. So looking at all of these data points, I would say that positional perspective, it seems to be heading towards 1500. One can place a stop loss below say 1280 and go along with Dr. Reddy's. So that's from the point of view of long builder, and LTM is from the point of view of short covering.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has also helped you out as well. Thank you so much, Jay, for being
Thank you.
with us on the program and for guiding all
Always a
our viewers
pleasure.
there on the queries. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic
Thank you.
time. We'll, of course, get you back very soon on another edition of Daily Calls. With that, viewers, we wrap it up on that note on this current edition of Daily Calls. In case you too have any questions about your own stock portfolio, then don't forget to keep writing into us. The WhatsApp number is on your screen. Stay tuned on Business Today. A lot more coming up on your screens.